Welcome to the Top Knot Braiding tutorial. Here you would see me part the client's hair starting from the very beginning of her earlobe towards the center of her head. This allows the client to have tons of versatility with this Top Knot Braiding foundation. This will be the base braid used to navigate the flow of the rest of the hair. You want to make sure that you are parting the client's hair in that diagonal motion so that it does not interfere where the client may want her part. Make sure you use clips or anything that you have to section off the client's hair that is not being braided. If the client has very low sideburns, you want to ensure that you leave that out. As you see, I'm applying a small amount of Murray's Edge wax that can be found at your local beauty supply store for $4.99. This Murray's Edge wax allows me to grip the client's hair to the very front. This is important for the seamless hairline. I start off using a small amount of hair and adding hair as I go back to create a cornrow. You want to ensure that you are braiding securely and not tightly. The reason for this is because when you start your installation for the seamless hairline, you will be taking your latch hook and putting it under the braid. You don't want to cause any further tension to the client's hairline or anywhere at her scalp for that matter, so it is important that you braid securely and not tight. Make sure to ask the client if it is tight. If it's remotely tight, you want to ensure that you loose that out, start over, and apply less pressure. This foundation allows the client tons of versatility. They can wear it half up, half down, and at their parts. And if you choose to give them multiple frontal parts, this technique of braiding or this foundation is going to allow the clients further versatility with you giving them multiple parts. You may skip forward if you like to see how the middle is braided, but if you would like to know exactly how the parting is done, the amount of hair that I part to do a cornrow, then continue on watching. Here I am going to section off the middle of the hair by making a small circle portion about the width of your hand in the middle of her hair. This part is left out to create the zigzag braid that will be in the middle of her head. So you don't want to braid those side braids all the way to the middle. You want to leave a small portion out of in the middle of her head, as I am doing. Here I'm completing the cornrows going around her head, and now I am at the nape of her head. You'll see me grab 3 strands of hair and continue to grab pieces of her hair to create a cornrow. It is important that you start directly at the beginning so that the cornrow starts off to the beginning. This is what the back of your cornrows should look like. Here's a close-up of us braiding the hair going horizontal. We start with 3 of the side braids, braiding it, going across. This is the ending braid for the frontal parts. You will skip every other or every 2. You will have to gauge for yourself depending on the thickness of the client's hair or the length. If you see the client cornrow going across getting too big, then you skip accordingly. This is where the client's part will be at. She opted for a side part. See a slight curve there. That is how I like to part my client's side part. As you see, I will add those 2 braids together to make sure she has a secure enough ending braid for her part. You don't want that braid to be loose at all, because then the back of her part will start to raise as it grows out. So you want to make sure that braid is nice and firm and secure. As you see here, I left the hair out at the back. Those are the pieces that's left out from the front and the back. I just had 3. Because as I said, her hair is thick, but it is not too thick. It's thick but soft. And then I carry those hair down and braid across it like so. Now, if you're not well versed in doing that, then you can leave the hair up, and I'll show you what to do in the next scene. So as you braid your cornrows going across, you pick up pieces of the side braids. So right there, I added a side braid again. Here I will demonstrate the piece of hair that's left out from the front. I insert my latch hook, grab that hair, and slide it on through that cornrow. That is the easier method than having to braid over those braids and tucking it in as you braid. Here's a close-up of how I'm going to add that side braid in as I braid horizontal, going all the way down. See, you just grab a side braid before you complete going across, and then you braid down. That makes it flatter. instead of a lump at the side, going around to the next horizontal line of braids. Now, if you're a little bit more creative with your cornrows and know how to make it flatter in the middle, then go for it. Please do share at our Facebook community. As you see here, I'm starting to finish up the braiding going across. I do add all this here at the bottom row to finish off, and that was the incorrect way to do it, okay, because it will leave you with a big fat braid, and if the client's hair is long or thick, that's a no-bueno. So another way to do that, as I showed you on the mannequin, is to skip every other like you did in the front. So you're going to skip every other and continue to braid horizontally. Then go back down and go across in the opposite direction and add the last 3 braids down there. That is another way not to have one big fat braid at the back of her head that will leave the client uncomfortable when she sleeps at night. All right, so we're going to braid this all the way to the end, and then we're going to simply latch hook it through the rest of the braids. There's no stitching, no gluing, nothing of the sort. Just take your latch hook and feed it back through the best way you know how to make it flat, okay, and tuck it all the way in. Nice, neat foundation of braids, the flattest I know how to make it. Maybe you're well just in braids, so maybe you can make it flatter. That's great. Please do share. All right, that's it, you guys. So if you have any questions, please do go to our Facebook community and hashtag Top Knot Foundation Tutorial.